Welcome back students for the session number 5 of module 5, that is arches and cables in analysis of determinate structures, and I am presenting before you is Vahiniyam of GSC Haveri. So in the last sessions we have analyzed, or in the previous sessions we have analyzed three hinged circular arches, that is segmental as well as semicircular arches, both at with supports at same level as well as at different level. And in this session we are going to analyze three hinged parabolic arch with supports at same level. Okay, so let us consider ABC, a three hinged arch which is hinged at the springing level as well as at the crown. Okay, so the variation of the arch is parabola, hence the name is parabolic arch. Okay, so let H be the rise of the arch and L be the span of the arch. Let E be any point on the rib of the arch. Because the levels are at the same level, the supports are at the same level, either you can consider the point E in the left segment or in the right part. And let X be the distance of this point E from the hinge A. Because we have considered it in the left part AC region, so we have to measure it from the support. So in the previous sessions, where in circular arches X is always measured from this center line, whereas in parabolic arches X is always measured from the support. This you have to keep it in mind. So here X is always measured from the support, either it may be support A or it may be support B. Okay, so point E is at a distance X from end A, and let Y be the ordinate of point E, which is measured from the springing level. Next, the ordinate at E, that is YE, is given by 4hx by L square into L minus x. This is the equation of parabola. So the ordinate at any point on the rib of the arch is given by 4hx by L square into L minus x, where h is rise of the arch, L is span of the arch, and x is the distance of the point under reference measured from the support. Okay, so that is the ordinate at E. So let us take it as equation 1. So to find the angle theta, that is which we are going to use in case of normal thrust and radial shear, in previous circular arches we used to find sin theta, which is the ratio of x by r, whereas in parabolic arches, to find the value of theta, this y is differentiated with respect to x, dy by dx, that is differentiate equation 1 with respect to x. So dy by dx is equal to d by dx of 4hx by L square into L minus x. We know that dy by dx is nothing but tan theta, So using this we will equate tan theta is equal to d by dx of 4hx by L square into L minus x, from which we can calculate the value of theta. So tan theta is equal to d by dx of 4hx by L. So differentiated equation we can write here, and hence theta is equal to tan inverse of d by dx of 4hx by L square into L minus x. Okay, so this is the equation to be used to find the angle, and the ordinate at any point is given by 4hx by L square into L minus x. This is the only change in case of parabolic arches. All other procedure will remain same. Okay, so let us take a look into the numerical problem. So the problem is a three-hinged parabolic arch of span 20 meter and a central rise of 4 meter is loaded with UDL of intensity 20 kilonewton per meter on the left 8 meter length. Determine direction and magnitude of reactions, maximum positive and negative bending moment, and also draw bending moment diagram, and then normal thrust and radial shear at 6 meter from the left support. So let us draw the parabolic arch now. So ABC is a 3-hinged parabolic arch of span 20 meter. So the span is 20 meter. Distance between the two supports is 20 meter and the central rise is 4 meter. So this is 4 meter. It is loaded with UDL of intensity 20 kilonewton per meter on the left 8 meter length. So the midpoint is at 10 meter. Okay, so it is subjected to only 8 meters. So that means it is a case of partial UDL. So let us take the point where the UDL ends on the arch. Let us take it as point D. Okay. So that is the given problem. So now to find the direction and magnitude of reactions. So the first step is to find the reactions. Let us assume the reactive components HAV and HBVB as shown in the figure. So let us apply the three equilibrium conditions. Sigma Fx equals 0, which gives HA equals HB, and then if you apply sigma Fy is equal to 0, so that will be VA plus VB minus 20 into the length over which it is acting is 8 meters. So minus 20 into 8, that will be VA plus VB equals 160 kilonewton. Take this as equation 2. Next, let us apply the third equilibrium condition, that is sigma MA equals 0. So take moment of all the forces about A and equate it to 0. So which gives an equation of minus VB. This is anti-clockwise, therefore minus VB into 20, and then 20 into 8 into 4. So it is acting clockwise, therefore positive, 20 into 8 into 4. So from which we can obtain VB as 32 kilonewton. Therefore substituting back into equation 2, from equation 2 we can obtain VA value as 128 kilonewton. So the major loading is in AC portion, therefore the reaction at A is more than B. Okay, so that is VA and VB. VB is 32 and VA is 128 kilonewton. So next, to find the horizontal thrust, we have to apply bending moment at the crown and equate it to 0. So from the simplification point of view, let us consider the right part, as the right part does not have any loading. So let us consider bending moment at C right and equate it to 0. So which gives an equation of VB into 10 minus HB into 4. VB into 10 minus HB into 4. We know the value of VB as 32. So substitute it, VB 32 into 10 minus 4 HB, equate it to 0. Therefore HB equals 80 kilonewton. From equation 1 we have HA equals HB, hence HA is also equal to 80 kilonewton. So now we have found the reactive components. Let us take the magnitude and direction of the reactions at end A and end B. So RA is given by root of VA square plus HA square, that is equal to root of 128 square plus 80 square. So it will be equal to 150.94 kilonewton. Next, alpha A, angle made by RA with respect to horizontal. This is the direction of the reaction. Okay, this is the magnitude. So alpha A is equal to tan inverse of VA by HA. So that is equal to tan inverse of 128 by 80. So therefore alpha A is equal to 58 degrees. And RB is equal to root of VB square plus HB square. So that is equal to root of 32 square plus 80 square. Hence RB is equal to 86.16 kilonewton. And inclination of RB with respect to horizontal is tan inverse of 32 by 80. So therefore alpha B is equal to 21.8 degrees. So that completes the first part of finding the magnitude and direction of the reactive reactions at the supports. So the second step is to find the maximum positive and negative bending moment and also to draw the bending moment diagram. So first let us take up to find the maximum positive bending moment. So we know that positive bending moment will occur under the load. So let us consider any section X under the load. So in case of parabolic arches, X is always measured from the support, whereas in case of circular arches, X is always measured from the center. So let us consider any section XX at a distance X from the end A. So let Yx be this ordinate. Okay. So if you write the equation for bending moment at any section X, Bmx is equal to Va. It is producing sagging, so Va into X, hogging, the HA is inducing hogging, therefore HA into Yx minus 20 into X by 2. Substitute the values. So it will be 128x minus 80 into Yx minus 10x square. So Yx is given by 4hx by L square into L minus x. So substitute the values of h and L. So 4h is 4 meter, x is unknown, L is 20 meter, 20 minus x divided by 20 square. So if you simplify it, Yx is equal to 0.6x minus 0.04 x square. Take it as equation 4. Substitute this Yx into equation 3. So that will be bending moment at section X will be 128x minus 80 into 0.6x minus 0.04 x square minus 10x square. If you simplify this equation, it will be bending moment at any section X is equal to 80x minus 6.6 x square. So to locate its position, differentiate this equation 5 with respect to x and equate it to 0. Therefore dmx by dx is equal to 0. That implies differentiation of 80x is 80 minus 6.6 into differentiation of x square is 2x. So therefore you get a value of x as 6.06 meter. That is, the maximum positive bending moment occurs at a distance of 6.06 meter from end A. Substitute this value of x into equation 5. So that will be bending moment at x is equal to 80 into 6.06 minus 6.6 into 6.06 square. So that will be equal to the maximum positive bending moment is equal to 242.42 kilonewton meter. That is the maximum positive bending moment, position and magnitude of maximum positive bending moment. Next, let us take up maximum negative bending moment. So it occurs in between BC region. So therefore let us consider any section in between BC region. So this is the BC region. Let us consider any section XX at a distance x from the support. It is also measured from the support B. Okay, any section x from the support as shown in the figure. Okay, so if you write the equation for bending moment at any section x, it will be VB into x minus HB into Yx. 32x minus 80 into Yx. Take this as equation 6. So we know the we don't know the value of x. We don't know, we have the equation for Yx. So from equation 4 we have Yx as 0.6x minus 0.04 x square. So let us substitute this into equation 6. So that will be 32x minus 80 into Yx is 0.6x minus 0.04 x square. If you simplify this, it will be minus 16x plus 3.2 x square. Take it as equation 7. Again, the position is obtained by differentiating this equation 7 with respect to x and equating it to 0. So dmx by dx is equal to 0. That implies minus 16. Differentiation of minus 16x is minus 16 plus 3.2 into x square is 2x. So that gives a value of x as 2.5 meter. Substitute this value into equation 7. So that gives the maximum negative bending moment value of minus 20 kilonewton meter. So the maximum negative bending moment occurs at a distance of 2.5 meter from end B of whose magnitude is minus 20 kilonewton meter. So to draw the bending moment diagram, so let us find the bending moments at all the salient points. we have bending moment at ABC. Okay, we have maximum positive and maximum negative. So let us also find bending moment at this point D. Okay, so that we can draw the variation. Okay, so bending moment at D is given by VA into 8. So D is at a distance 8 meter from the left end. So VA into 8 minus HA into YD minus 10 into 8 into 8 by 2. So substitute the values. 128 into 8 minus 80. HA is 80 into YD minus 640. So to find the value of YD, it will be 384 minus 80 YD. Yx is given by, from equation 4 we have Yx as 0.6x minus 0.04 x square. So at x is equal to 8 meters, Yx will be Yd. So Yd is equal to 2.24 meters. Substitute the value of x as 8 meter. It will be obtaining the value of Yd as 2.24 meter. Substitute this Yd into equation 8. So then bending moment at D will be equal to 204.8 kilonewton meter. So now we can draw the bending moment diagram. We have obtained the bending moment values at all the important points. So now we can draw the bending moment diagram. So to draw the bending moment diagram, we know that bending moment at ABC is 0. Bending moment maximum positive is 242.42, which is acting at a distance of 6.06 meter from end A, and maximum negative bending moment is minus 20 kilonewton meter, which is at a distance of 2.5 meter from end B, and bending moment at D is 204.8 kilonewton meter. To draw the bending moment diagram, first let us draw the baseline, the given arch ABC, and the point D is marked here. So bending moment at ABC is 0. So maximum positive is at 6.06 meter from end A. So 6.06 meter from end A, and its ordinate is 242.42 kilonewton meter. Next, bending moment at D is 204.8 kilonewton meter. So let us mark it negative bending moment first. So maximum negative bending moment is minus 20. It is acting at 2.5 meter from end B. So mark it 2.5 meter from end B, and its ordinate is 20, not 20.8, it is 20 kilonewton meter. So minus, so mark it below the baseline. And bending moment at D is 204.8. So D is at 8 meter from the left end. So this ordinate is 204.8 kilonewton meter. So now we have to join with the variation, bending moment variation. So up to D we have UDL. So you can see here, in between AD we have UDL, and D to C we don't have any loading. Okay, so therefore up to D the variation will be parabolic. So let us draw the parabolic variation. So this is the parabolic variation up to D. Next, from D to C, straight line variation, and then from C to D you join from C to this maximum negative bending moment minus 20, and then from maximum negative to end B. Okay, so this is the bending moment diagram. So this is positive bending moment diagram, and this one is negative bending moment diagram. So you have to indicate the variation as well. So this is the parabolic variation up to D. Okay, and this one is linear variation. From this to here it is linear, and this complete line is linear variation. So that is the bending moment diagram. Okay, next the third part is to find the normal thrust and radial shear at 6 meter from the left support. So let us consider the section up to 6 meter from the left support with all the forces and reactions. So it will be having UDL up to 6 meter and the reactive components at end A. To find the net horizontal force we have only HA. So H is equal to HA, that is equal to 80 kilonewton. And then net vertical force V is equal to VA minus 20 into 6. So that gives VA is 128 minus 20 into 6 is 120, that will be equal to 8 kilonewton. To find theta, we have from equation 4 we have Yx is equal to 0.66 minus 0.04 x square. So to find theta, we have to differentiate this equation 4 with respect to x. So therefore dy by dx equals differentiation of 0.66 is 0.6 minus 0.04 into x square is 2x. But at x is equal to 6 meter, we will substitute the value of x as 6 meter. So dy by dx will be equal to 0.12. So 0.6 minus 0.04 into 2 into 6. So that will be equal to 0.12. But dy by dx is nothing but tan theta. So therefore we will equate it to tan theta. Hence theta is equal to tan inverse of 0.12, which will be equal to 6.84 degrees. So using this value of theta, we will calculate normal thrust and radial shear. So let us substitute into normal thrust and radial shear equation. So normal thrust is h cos theta plus v sin theta. So that will be equal to 80 cos 6.84 plus 8 sin 6.84. So if we simplify it, it will be 80.38 kilonewton. And radial shear is equal to V cos theta minus H sin theta. That will be equal to 8 cos 6.84 minus 80 sin 6.84. So if you simplify it, you will get a radial shear of minus 1.58 kilonewton. So that is the solution for this problem. So that is the analysis of 3-hinged parabolic arch with supports at same level. So only change we have to consider is the equation for the ordinate, that is y is equal to 4hx by L square into L minus x, and to find the angle theta we have to differentiate this y with respect to x and equate it to tan theta. Okay, that is the only change we have to consider. So in the next session we will take up 3-hinged parabolic arch with supports at different level. So that's it for today's session. Thank you.